YouTube, good morning. It's Preacher. Here in Plant City, Florida, at the Winn-Dixie warehouse, seeing this. So, while we was in the staging area, a couple of drivers and I were talking, right? One driver talking about how he parked his truck for 2 weeks because of these low rates and the high fuel costs, right? And he said he refused to run no less than $2.70 a mile. He ain't gonna do it. He just not gonna do it. So he gonna park his truck until he can find a load paying him that. So I said, so you got more than that coming down here to Florida for this load? He go, yeah. I'm like, cool. Well, how much did you get? If you don't mind me asking, you know. So then he looked and then he go, well, how much did you get? I went 611 miles, right, for 1960. He said, he got his for 22 for about the same amount of miles. So I'm like, well, okay. So that's over $3 a mile. He go, yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna run for less than that. So then I said, well, how much is your load you got coming up out of Florida? So I haven't found a load yet. So I'm gonna go to the truck stop, to the Loves over there in Orlando till I find one. But I'm probably gonna have to deadhead out of Florida to like Georgia or somewhere to get another load. And he said, well, because he see me, I'm in a day cab, so he was like, you know, how much am I making per mile? And I'm like, listen, I'm not all on this per mile stuff. I'm not. I average over $12.50 a day. And I told him that, you know, I make YouTube videos and stuff like this, and you can go back. I said, you can watch some of my videos. I always say, I don't care all about the miles. Y'all mathematicians, if y'all want to do the mileage, y'all go right on ahead. I don't be worried about all that. Because I know within the day, you're only going to ride a certain amount of miles, right? So I know within the day, I'm only going to do about 680 miles, if that. I mean, most of my trips is like 628 miles, being the highest. Unless I go, you know, back up to Orlando or Kentucky and stuff like that. Not Orlando, but Ohio and stuff like that. But for most parts, me coming out of Florida to deliver my load, it's about 648 miles, and coming back it's about 648 miles. Unless I go down to Miami, then it goes up to 700 miles. But even for 700 miles, okay, my day, I average over $12.50 per day. All right, I've been averaging about between, like I say, 81 and 8,300 gross revenue. I don't know, for a while now, maybe about 6-7 weeks. I've been averaging that in a day cab. You know, he said, so you average, and then I showed him. I said, yeah, man, I'm very transparent with what I do and stuff, and I show stuff on YouTube and stuff. I said, well, how are you averaging? How are you getting like over $8,000 a week in a day cab? I was like, man, I got relationships with my brokers that I've been using almost 2 years now. So they know me, they know the type of service, they know I'm dependable. They understood when my truck had broke down and things like that. If I broke down under the load, you know, got the load picked up, you know. So they know I'm going to work. They know all this particular stuff. So they're not killing me on no rates. I got the same rates that I got when the rates was booming. But when the rates was booming, right, I stuck with them at a reasonable rate. I didn't abandon ship. Yes, I could have got more on the stock market. Even at that time, even with my contracted freight, people were saying, well, that don't make no sense, man. You can get these loads for like 2,800 bucks. You know, you could get these loads. Yeah, and at the time they was right. At the time they was right. But when you up under when I negotiate a contracted rate, I'm stuck with that contracted rate. But also with that contracted rate, if rates go down, I still have that rate. So my contracted rate starts back in October, right? Probably towards the end of this month, really. It's end of September, but it normally goes to October. So to go 628 miles, it's going to be 2,100 bucks, right? So if y'all look back to my past videos, last year when the fuel and everything went up like crazy, I went back to the shipper and everything, negotiated a higher rate to account for the cost of the fuel way back then. So even now, when I start off, I'm starting off again with $2,100 for 628 miles. Okay, so even like that. And then my regular HVAC that I do, and then that's the other thing. When I structured my business and found out what I was going to do, I found out what I was going to do in my particular area that I stayed in. So that way I will have freight in those particular areas. Okay, so when I first started, I looked at stuff that was going on in my area. What can I carry? What do we got coming in the state of Florida and going out in the state of Florida that's regular, no matter what. No matter what happens, they still going to get this here stuff. No matter what, right? So that's why I picked these particular type things, these type loads, after talking with a whole bunch of brokers. That's why I picked this. That's why I do horse bedding, right? The wood shavings is horse bedding. So during the season down here in Florida, now they do year-round stuff, but I don't go way up north. They do year-round stuff that they wanted me to do. I got a day cab. I can't go way up north and stuff like that. So I just stick with day runs. In Florida, I do HVAC, all this air conditioner stuff. Okay, that's plenty of stuff. Because then when it goes up to North Carolina, they going up to the other warehouses where they do heat and everything like that as well. So I chose to get these contracts with things like that, because in a hot time you're always gonna have air conditioning heat. Always gonna have air conditioning heat. Okay, people need their air conditioning, people need their heat. So leaving up out of Florida, I get $1,250 for 500 miles. Going back in Florida, I get $2,100 for 628 miles. So between those four loads will pay me $6,700. Just those four loads, Monday through Friday. So when I deliver Friday morning, I'm already at $6,700. And then Friday, I will do a water load on Friday, a straight through water load. I do that, and then for $500. And then on Sunday, I do my McDonald's load, and that's $900. So that's another $1,400 added to that $67. Okay, y'all mathematicians can do the math. Then I do my reset for the rest of the day Friday and on Saturday, and I do my reset. Now, when I want to take Sunday off, Saturday and Sunday off, I just do a Friday load, and then out for the $500, and then I make $72 for the week. You know, so if I want to watch my football, whatever, go to church, take the whole Saturday, Sunday, I'm fine with making $7,200 for the week. You know, in my miles, it's always between 2,800 and 3,000, give or take, where I take the water to on the weekend. Because if I got to go to Naples for the water, it'll put me over the $3,000, not 3,000, but 3,000 mile mark if I do that. But if I, take it down to Miami, then it won't do that. It'll keep me around the 2,900. Y'all can do the math on that if y'all want to. Y'all can do the math on that, okay? All y'all mathematicians, y'all can do the math on that if y'all want to do the mileage thing. Okay, and right now in fuel, because all the high fuel prices, I'm spending $2,500 in fuel per week. That's what I'm spending as of right now. As of today, I'm spending $2,500 in fuel. I'm currently getting 8.3 miles per gallon. Currently getting. All right, if I slow down, I can get more. All right, but I've been going like 68 to 70 miles an hour. So that's why I'm only getting like 8.2, 8.3 miles. All that. If I slow down, yeah, it'll go down. When I slow down and only been going like 64, 65, then that's when, I do like 2,200 in fuel for the week and things like that. So I'm just explaining this to the truckers. I said, man, I got my system. And when I first started off, I spent a lot of money talking with people and listening to people, asking for some advice for some people to help structure my business. And I structured my business, with the lowest overhead as possible, and then making the least amount of money as possible, because I'm in Florida. Florida got cheap rates. So I had to make my business based off of the low rates that I have in Florida, starting off. But I don't know too many people will be mad about getting $1,250 for 500 miles coming out of Florida. I don't know too many people who are going to be mad about that. All right? So I really don't. And like I said before, too, okay, my operating costs for me to save money, put money inside my personal savings account to pay all my bills, for my business to make money, and to put money inside my maintenance account, my rate per mile that I have to make fluctuate between $1.44 per mile to $1.67 per mile, depending on the cost of fuel. Because depending on the cost of fuel, that rate per mile goes up and it goes down. It goes up, then it goes down. So it fluctuates. All right, so that's why we call this a declining budget, because it's going to fluctuate. Excuse me. So, and I was telling the dude, I'm not sitting. You can sit, but you sitting trying to chase these rates per mile. You sitting. If you can't operate your business, okay, if you can't operate your business under your little threshold, then you need to look at your numbers. You need to look at your spending. Okay, you can't depend on them. It's called a spot market. If you want a consistent rate, you have to get a contract. That's the only time you're going to get a consistent rate. But if you're going to play the spot market game, that rate is going to always go up and always go down. And every load is not going to be that home run load. It's just not. It's not going to be that home run load. I never ran for my at costs. Never ran for my at costs. Never ran. The closest I got to running per mile from my costs was $1.89. And that was the closest. And that's because, like Labor Day, for instance, my regular shipper that I got the contract with, the HVAC, they're closed on Labor Day. But when so those holidays where they're closed, but I still need to get up to North Carolina for my other contract freight, I still have to get a load to get me up there. So therefore, instead of taking a load like for $1,250, I have to take a load for like $1,100. Okay, so then I do that. I take a load like from Jacksonville up to the Walmart in Pageland, South Carolina, like for $1,000, sometimes $1,100. Or I take tires from Jacksonville to Williamson, North Carolina, for like $1,100 and things like that. So it's other loads that I can take, that I do take going up there, but they don't pay me the $12.50. So sometimes I had to do that. But still, $1.89 to get up there to get my load that pays me $2,100 coming back. I got room, and it's about averaging. Okay, it's about averaging. What are you averaging by the end of the week? You know, when you try to do day by day by day by day, every day you trying to pick stuff by day. In business don't work like that. Okay, it doesn't. When I do my P&L reports, they're on a monthly basis, but I do declining budgets throughout my course, my weeks, to make sure I am hitting those potential marks that I need to hit. Okay, so when you run a business, you have to run a business. I came from running restaurants, and in restaurants, every day wasn't a straight gold day. Mondays it was slow. Tuesdays it was slow. Wednesdays it started picking up. Thursdays start picking up. Fridays you're real busy. Saturdays you're real busy. Sundays is moderate. So every day don't be a home run day, but by the end of the week, where are you at by the end of the week? Are you hitting your averages by the end of the week? That's what you look at. Because like that one particular contracted freight I got, yeah, I know that's way over $3 a mile. So even if I did have to take a load, that was $1.89, well, I'm still got over $3 on the next load for the next day coming back. That average is still going to put me way back over $2. Way over $2.20, way over $2.30 by the end of the week. So that's what I mean by you can't look at what you're doing every single day. You got to look at, okay, what's the end result? What are your weekly things that you were doing, things like that. That's what you have to do. And then it's done on a monthly. When all your P&L statements come out, it's done on a monthly basis. When you trying to get funding, or you trying to grow business stuff, or you trying to when you got to give your business reports to different people and stuff like that for things, they want your monthly report. They're not actually for your daily report. Well, let me get your daily report. No, they're not even actually for your weekly report. Let me get your monthly P&L statements. It's what they asking for. Your monthly P&L statements. Everything that they do. Let me get your last 3 months. That's what they tell me. Let me get your last 3 months P&L reports. When I do my taxes, it's on the last quarter. Your last three months. Let me get your last 3 months, my CPA. Let me get your last 3 months P&L reports. So he could do all the deductions and everything like that. Let me get your last 3 months. Nobody's saying let me get your last week, your last 2 days. No, they don't say that. So you don't run business like that. You track your numbers daily, but you don't make your decisions like that. One day it may be like this, but the next day that load that you took for here, that you got for 2 miles may take you to another load that you finna get $4 a mile for. So why are you sitting for? And to me, that don't make no sense to sit. You sitting for what? Why are you sitting? I don't understand why. What is your rationale decision about sitting and not making money? Because if you're not making money, you're spending money because you still got bills coming out. So all your little savings you got is just dwindling down. You talk, yeah, I'm just gonna sit. I'm just okay. Yeah, you do that. You sit. Okay, you sit. Because I don't understand why you would sit. I really don't. Y'all understand why people would sit? Y'all let me know.